who was fired for this. Talks only with Cairo 7.
I am going to fight for my job back.
What he says this tape doesn't tell.
When I got kicked, I felt this ringing, high-pitched beep, and my jaw was numb.
And why he says it hurts so much to be called a bad cop.
I believe it was my calling.
Adley Shepard was fired earlier this month for excessive force. Good evening, I'm Dave Wagner.
I'm Monique Minglovin, and just days after Shepard lost his job, he invited me to his home. He agreed to answer all my questions, including why the former football player and veteran felt he had to punch a handcuffed woman in the face.
We're not robots. We're not allowed to talk to the media.
But Adley Shepard did talk to me.
And the image they get from us is like we're just cold, menacing.
Because he wants you to see the man inside the uniform.
I spent 9 hours in Seattle as Officer Shepard. When I come back here, I'm daddy. I'm honey.
Now he's no longer an officer. His 9-year police career ended with a domestic violence call that he agreed to watch with me. What is it like to experience this again?
Like my heart's racing right now. And it's just, it's because it's why I'm here.
June 22nd, 2014, a 23-year-old woman had allegedly threatened a young man and his mother. Officer Shepard handcuffed the suspect and put her in the back seat. She resisted.
Why am I under arrest?
Off screen, she kicked him in the head, and then...
That blow, it really wrung me. And she kicked me in the side of the jaw here, and my jaw popped back in.
This is what happened to the suspect. Miyako Durden Bosley's eye was purple, the socket broken.
I was trying to stop her from assaulting me further.
And that was the only way you could?
At the time, that's all I had.
Documents show the lead defensive tactics instructor for SPD, Richard Peterson, backed Shepard up. He told investigators with the Office of Professional Accountability, anytime somebody assaults, you have the right to protect yourself and stop the threat. He hit her one time. The threat was stopped. He controlled her by laying on top of her, kind of holding her down. And he never hit her again. And he was calm. He wasn't emotional. And I thought he did it perfectly.
We're trained to respond to force, okay? And it was a reaction. It's a trained response.
Police Chief Kathleen O'Toole rejects that. In her disciplinary action report, she wrote, "Common sense alone was sufficient to determine that the level of force used was not reasonable or necessary." What did you think she was capable of doing? You thought a handcuffed, petite, drunk woman was going to kill you?
Yes.
How would she have done that?
With her boots.
As tensions rise across the country between law enforcement and communities of color, Shepard claims his career has become a sacrifice. I asked how this affects his family.
I'm sorry, can I take a break?
Then his answer.
I have 2 little girls. I'm not a wife beater. I've never hit my wife. Okay? I've never, and I love my girls. I love all 3 of them. And there's my responsibility to take care of them, to get home to them.
Shepard is appealing. He is fighting for his job back. He still feels called to protect and to serve.
Ever since I was a child, that was been my goal in life.
Even though Seattle no longer wants his service.
We're dealing with just this great amount of scrutiny right now. Like I can't go to the grocery store or somewhere with someone just, I can't go to the gym without people just, judging and not knowing.
And he says that he talked to me because he believes every officer is facing that kind of judgment right now.
Does he have any regrets? We saw he got emotional there when we talked about his family, but does he have any regrets about what happened?
He certainly regrets what his family has gone through. Now, in hindsight, he did admit he would try to de-escalate the situation before the actual arrest took place, but he maintains he had to hit her at the end to really bring down that threat of violence and to keep the arrest under control.
This all happened within split seconds. All right. Well, hundreds of you have reacted to this story since we broke it on the Cairo 7 Facebook page.